I was a freshman at BYU in 1954. I had been a high school fencer, and when I went to BYU, the fencing master at the Y was leaving just as I arrived. And after a couple of weeks of the class, he recommended me to take over for him as the new fencing master at BYU. And I think I was paid the magnificent sum of 50 cents an hour or something for that effort. And we trained, of course, at the wrestling room at BYU. And as a freshman, I went to a basketball game during the winter of 54. And at that basketball halftime, the Island team under Ed Parker put on a halftime demonstration of the martial arts. Tempo, of course. And this was before television programs that featured martial arts. There were no movies about it. It was just striking, and it blew me right out of my socks. I could see from the movements that some of the blocking and counter theory was very similar to fencing. So at the conclusion of the demonstration, I went running down, caught them just as they were getting ready to go into the dressing room, and I said, I gotta learn this. And I'll never forget what Ed Parker said to me. He scowled at me and said, don't call us, kid, we'll call you.
Wow.
He was very jingoistic at the time. He would only teach Asians and island boys. And I just kept after him, and finally said, all right, come on. And that began a lifelong friendship, and starting in 1954, I was a green as grass white belt, knew absolutely nothing about martial arts other than the fencing theory. And I watched Ed Parker develop his style, the American Kempo style, and he took a very scientific approach. Everything that he had learned from William K.S. Chow in the islands, he analyzed, took it apart, both from a physics standpoint and a kinesiology standpoint, and he modified the traditional Kempo style into what became a very powerful and very vicious ultimate fighting art.